Good evening. My name is Judy Good. I am a Lifevantage Elite Distributor, and I'm just delighted that you've taken time this evening to share in what we think is one of the biggest offerings that the planet has ever seen. Somebody thought enough of you to think that you were forward thinking, wanted to know how to improve your health or possibly even improve your wealth or the time that you might have, your extra time that you might have. As I said, I'm an elite distributor with Lifevantage, but I'm more than that. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a business owner. In fact, I've been self-employed for the last, more years than I care to say, but my business card says creative solutionist. And the reason it says that is because I like to think of myself as someone who specializes in finding better ways. And even though I had lots of successful ventures going when this opportunity came my way, I could not look away because this is all about doing things in a better way, finding a better way to prolong your health, to slow the aging process, and also to create the life you might have felt that you always were meant to live. So to get started here, we want to talk about our proper disclosures. And this is basically just legalese for saying we're not making any claims. And you might just underscore this by knowing that this is a publicly traded company. So everything that I'm about to share with you, everything about the business, everything about the products is not only absolutely true, I'm going to understate it. I want you to go back to the different, the websites that I'm going to offer to you. I want you to look at NASDAQ. I want you to look at everything. And then I want you to get back to the person who invited you to look at this, because everything I'm about to tell you, you can check it out. It's absolutely true. And everything that we're talking to you about is something that can help you flip the switch in your life. Again, not just feeling better, but also doing more to level up your life. So you might even talk about it as a toolkit, and this, what I love about it is you can shape this to whatever your needs are in your life. If the business is something that maybe you're looking for something, just a side hustle, you can do it with that. If you're looking for something, to really change your life, to give yourself and your family financial independence, you can do that as well. So let's just start with health. We're being hijacked daily, right? Food and water, the environment, personal things. Oh my gosh, stress, technology, everything is really impacting our health. And did you know that when we talk about the environment, that over 85,000 chemicals have been introduced just since the Industrial Revolution? So you can do your best to eliminate these. Organic foods, reducing the kinds of chemicals that you're in your home, but all of this works to dim the lights, so to speak. If you think about a dimmer switch or a rheostat, sometimes you don't even notice gradually how those lights dim in a room, but it does nonetheless. And this is, if you take this analogy and look at your own life, maybe, you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond, and you're saying, I just don't feel as good as I did maybe a year ago or 5 or 10 years ago. And that has to do with the cellular hijacking. So what am I talking about? What does it feel like? Well, maybe a decreased immune system or brain fog, like, oh man, I just feel sluggish. I don't have any motivation. I'm in a bad mood. The increased stress. And haven't we had all of that in the past year or so with COVID and how that's impacting the economy? It's impacting our families, homeschooling. Everything has been turned upside down, and it's harder than ever to rebound. But what's really happening is that we're just not able to react. What's happening at our cellular level is that this light is dimming because of things like oxidative stress, a buildup of free radical damage, mitochondrial decline, the mitochondria, the mighty powerhouse in every cell that helps to energize, and not to think of this as like stimulant energy, but what powers our organs like the heart and the brain. A decline in sirtuin activity, and this term might not be familiar to you, but the sirtuins are like the CEO of the cell. It helps the cell know what to do. It cleans up the gunk in the cell, and so much more. So science, decades ago really, had discovered that genes contain these incredible abilities to keep our bodies healthy. And you might hear about people who have, genetically they're predisposed to diseases or conditions, or predisposed even to other things, good things, like it might have the eye color or hair color. But genes can help us stay healthy, and we can actually modify genes or genetic expressions so that our bodies work the way they were meant to work. We can flip the switches in our cells so that we are positively impacting our health at a genetic and cellular level. Now, that may sound like science fiction, but I'm here to tell you it's absolutely true. And my question to you is, if you could leverage those genes with a simple flip of the switch, something that's inexpensive, totally safe, we're talking botanical, not chemical, just totally safe, something for every mammal that could improve their genetic response and their health, vitality, and wellness, would you do it? Well, I kind of think it's a no-brainer. And when I first looked at this information, a friend of mine sent me a short clip from ABC News. It was the ABC primetime video. If you haven't seen it, we're not going to show it tonight, but ask the person who invited you to see that ABC video. And this launched the technology that had been developed over decades by a scientist named Joe McCord. Now let's talk about the theories of aging. The first one is oxidative stress. It damages the integrity of the cell. And I talked about free radical damage buildup and how that oxidizes and makes the cells not work their best. And a good analogy is when you take a bite out of an apple, if you put it back down, that flesh of the apple will brown. So in our cells, it's not quite the same thing. Nobody's taking a bite out of your cells, but oxidation occurs nonetheless. And what that really impacts is things like inflammation and the production of indirect antioxidants. Now, these are not antioxidants like vitamin C and blueberries and so forth. These are indirect antioxidants like catalase, superoxide dismutase, glutathione. These indirect antioxidants the components of them, the molecules of them are too big for us to just take supplements orally. Some people may say, oh, I'm taking a glutathione supplement. Well, you might be taking it, but it's not really an impactful supplement. Rather, those are indirect large molecule antioxidants that are so important for detoxifying the body and reducing inflammation are things that are produced in each of our cells. But as we age, and again, 20, 30, 40 years of age and beyond, that dimming slowly happens to where these indirect antioxidants are not being made, so the cells cannot maintain their health. And so you might think, well, what can I do about that? Well, there is an NRF2 protein pathway that if that's switched, we can do that with the flagship product, Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, you'll lower the oxidative stress an average of 40% in just 30 days. Now think about that. Oxidative stress is one of the 3 leading causes of basically hundreds of diseases, everything from heart disease, diabetes, and cancer to, less health-threatening or less life-threatening diseases and conditions. But if you could reduce that risk by 40% in 30 days and actually 70% over 120 days for just a little over $1 a day, wouldn't you be reaching through the screen for it? I mean, I would. I mean, again, when I first saw that ABC video, I didn't even finish it. My husband and I said, if that's even half true, I want that product and I want to take it for the rest of my life. And I want my family to take it. And I want everybody I know and love to take it. So this is the flagship product, the original breakthrough. And this is so impactful that one of the institutions, that is very on the forefront of health and medicine, Washington State University, studied all of the different scientific papers that have been put out over the last few decades. And again, when I first was looking at this, there were maybe, 70,000 studies on oxidative stress. Today, there's close to 300,000. Washington State's looked at all of this. They did what they call a meta-analysis. And what they deduced was that our technology, this NRF2 technology, may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. I'm going to say that again, because I really want you to understand this. The NRF2 technology, this ability to flip the switch in the cell and help the cell reverse the cycle of aging, help it go back to where it produces the indirect antioxidants, reduces inflammation, reduces oxidative stress, may be the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health or medicine. That's a broad, bold statement. And this was independently initiated, independently funded. And, again, ask the person who invited you for a copy of that report. Now, the Lifevantage approach, as I said, over age, from the time we're even in our teens and on, this indirect antioxidant production in our cells declines. And if it goes unchecked, by the time we're in our later years, our 70s and 80s, it's nil. And this is, when you look at somebody and you say, oh my gosh, they're old. Well, they just think about that apple again. It's just where the body will go if left without any protection, if it's left to oxidize. But if we add this one capsule of Protandim NRF2 Synergizer every day, now look, within 30 days, your cells are operating like they did when you were a small child. Now, is that good or is that good? I mean, my good, it's phenomenal, right? And you might say, well, what does this creative solutionist know about health and wellness? Well, don't take my word for it. Go to pubmed.gov. You can read all of these studies. There's over 24 independently initiated and funded studies by Harvard, Ohio State, Louisiana State, Texas Tech, and these are being published in very prestigious magazines: Free Radical Biology and Medicine, the Journal of Cellular Biochemistry, the American Journal of Physiology. I mean, one of these studies was actually done by our own government, the United States government, and it found it selected Protandim, again, all independent. We didn't ask them to do it. But after 12 years of studying different products that they selected, they determined that the only product that could significantly slow the aging process and extend life was Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, and it did it by an average of 7%. All right, if you weren't getting this before about reducing oxidative stress 40 to 70%, think about the opportunity that you would have to extend your life and the persons around you by an average of 7%. What would that be? What would that mean to you? Well, I've got my entire family and everybody I know and love and care about on this product. I like to say, who do you dislike enough not to share this with? So that was one thing. And a lot of people said, well, just stop there. What else could be better? Well, we knew that there were actually two other legs to the stool, so to speak, of aging. We began to look at the switches for mitochondrial health and sirtuin activity. So these three legs of the stool, so to speak, the three theories of aging: oxidative stress, mitochondrial health, and sirtuin activity. So the next one we looked at was mitochondrial health. Now, you might remember, again, from like 5th grade biology, the mitochondria are these powerhouses of each cell. It helps our brains work better. It helps our heart function better. And the body in our life is constantly fixing or removing the damaged mitochondria and producing new mitochondria. Now, Unfortunately, the body production of mitochondria, again, slows over time, just like our body slows in the production of indirect antioxidants. But what if you could flip the switch and help your mitochondria work better? So again, natural ingredients put together in a particular patented synergistic blend increases the production of these NRF1 genes by nearly 70%, so that my mitochondria are firing on all cylinders. Now, again, this isn't curing anything. It's helping your body function the way it was intended to function. It increases these NRF1 genes. Now, the third theory of aging, Sirtuin decline. Think about, I call this the CEO of the cell. The sirtuins help your cell know what to do and when to do it. And it's when these decline, not only are they not telling the cell what to do and the cell kind of getting, I like to think of the cell getting confused, but also these toxins that build up within the cell are not getting removed in an efficient manner. So the sirtuins are constantly helping, reduce or remove the gunk from the cell. And again, over time, sirtuin production slows. Scientists have been looking for a long time on how to increase sirtuin production. And really the most effective way was, until the product that we've discovered, was very severe caloric restriction. And even that didn't increase sirtuin production by much, and it couldn't be maintained over a long period of time. But we discovered the NAD pathway, and the NAD synergizer, again, all natural ingredients. None of these Protandim products interact negatively with different pharmaceuticals that you might be taking, or different antioxidants, direct antioxidants you might be taking. But this is one more of the Protandim products. And this third one increases the sirtuin activity, not by 20% or 50%, but by 100%. And it does it in just 24 hours. And you might say, well, how am I going to notice that? Well, again, it's just feeling better. It's feeling like your old self. I mean, what would you give to feel like your old self, your young, healthy, vital self? With NAD, you can increase the sirtuin production by 100% in 24 hours. So now you say, well, there's 3 of these. What happens if I take all 3 products? Well, wait. I mean, it already was great to take any one of the 3, right? But if I take all 3 at the same time, look at what happens. And you can look at these charts. If I take just the NRF2 synergizer, I have a 40 to 50% reduction. But by taking all 3 products, my NRF2 activity goes up 838%. Look at the same thing with NRF1 and the NAD. Again, tremendous exponential benefit by taking all 3 of the products together. So are you ready to flip the switch? Again, I'm not saying this is a cure for any condition. I'm saying what this is going to do is help your body have better mood and motivation, healthy longevity, vitality, better mental focus and concentration, physical energy, healthy inflammatory response, healthy vascular system. And when your cells are working the way they did when they were very young, what's going to happen is the body will help and heal itself. And we've had all kinds of remarkable results from people using these products. And again, I invite you to get back with the person who invited you and just talk to them. Say, what have you noticed? And talk to them about maybe things that are not working as well for you, even things that are subtle, like things like how you sleep, your mood, your motivation, your metabolism, and talk to them about what you would like to see working better in your health. The Tri-Synergizer is a phenomenal product. It's a roughly $120 a month for all 3 products, free shipping, 30-day money-back guarantee. we're talking about less than $5 a day. I mean, that's less than it costs for me to go to Starbucks and have a flat white. So it's just a phenomenal thing, and it's the best thing that you can do for yourself to work with the nutrigenomic breakthroughs of Protandim. But it doesn't stop there. You know, when I started back in 2010, we only had a couple of products, but now we have 24 products. And what these are done, they've organized these for synergistic activation of each system of our body. You have things that are for anti-aging, which is kind of a general wellness, but you have things like Axio, which directs the NRF2 activity right to the brain cells so that you have increased focus, motivation, calmness, and so on, even better sleep. The ProBio is the best probiotic I have ever used. It has time-released formulation so that it doesn't break down before it's in the gut where it's supposed to be. And it also has Wellmune to increase immunity. Our Omega product, extremely pure. The weight management system, again, talk to the person who invited you, but this is very, very forward research that has come out of Europe on weight management. And it's just phenomenal, not just as what you might think of in terms of a weight loss or a diet product, but this is something that, you know, I actually stay on these products because it helps keep down the production of the bad old brown fat that, you know, that builds up around organs in our body, the belly fat as you get older. So it helps maintain that flat tummy and just better gut health. True Science Skincare, it's the only skin product that I use. This kind of came out of the studies done at Louisiana State that found that the Protandim NRF2 help with reversing skin cancers. It actually would reduce skin cancers in 57% of cases, and then significantly reduce tumors in the other, in 30% of the remaining ones. They put this into the anti-aging cream, and so this is not just a moisturizer, it's something that brings the NRF2 activity to a topical. So you have the inside out approach. Same thing with hair care, phenomenal products, and even Protandim for dogs, which is the Protandim product in a chewable for dogs. Great. I mean, people have been, you know, the Protandim NRF2 activation works to reduce that oxidative stress in all mammals. So people started giving Protandim years ago to dogs and horses and, you know, all their pets. And so now we've developed the pet line as well. So, you know, you kind of get the idea that there are a lot of testimonials. In fact, there's different stories for every person really that's on Protandim, because every body is different, and what your story will be, who knows? But that's what led us to a different business model. You know, years ago when Protandim NRF2 Synergizer first came out, they tried selling it online, they tried it on shelves, they tried it, you know, every different way, but people didn't know what an activator or a synergizer was. And so it sat on shelves. You know, shelves don't talk. And so we put it into a direct selling or network marketing model. The company started in May of 2009. It's headquartered in Utah, publicly traded on NASDAQ. And so you can bet on yourself. You can buy stock. We're a debt-free company. And we're governed by a board of former executives from Coca-Cola, Airbnb, Amazon, SC Johnson, and more. And maybe my favorite is our most recent board member addition, and that's Aaron Brockovich. They also, all these people, you know, people like that don't come to a board just because they have nothing better to do. They look at things like business trends, and any business owner will not pick up a new business venture without it being on trend. Now, you know that never in history have people been more concerned about their health. And this is even, you know, this chart is actually from a couple of years ago, but, you know, this is actually going through the roof with things like COVID and, environmental issues that we're concerned about. So there's been, I'll say, well over a 60% increase in wellness sales across the board in the last 8 years. And if you look at the different, well, what I'll call silos or systems that we address, each of these is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And if you combine them, it's over 600 billion and growing. And, too, looking at wellness as being the growing trend, it used to be that cosmetics or topical or the temporary fixes of looking better was the big trend. Now it's all about wellness and working with our bodies from the inside out. That is where the growth trends are. Now, when you take those trends and you apply them to the perfect business model, something where you can work from home, work from anywhere, minimal assets, no inventory, to repeat, no inventory, low entry cost, working with social sharing, my personal online store. I like to say it's like my own personal Amazon, except I'm doing it with products that have patents that protect them around the world. And then payment, oh my gosh, this compensation plan. Look, I've been in the network marketing industry since the early 90s. And when I first looked at this, I said, that's the best compensation plan I've ever seen in the industry. Not only that, not only is it lucrative, but I am paid daily, weekly, and monthly. And there's just no end to what this company does for us. Now, because it's publicly traded, we also publish our average annual earnings. So these are there's really 11 ranks here from Pro 1 all the way through Executive Master Pro 10. And this gives you an idea of what is possible. And when I say what is possible, I'm talking about across the board with tens of thousands of distributors in our ranks that are working this business. This is something where you have every opportunity to get into this and do as well as you like, from just paying for your product as a Pro 1 or Pro 2 to doing much more as an elite distributor. So I just want you to look at a couple of these. Let's look at this Pro 3 rank. The average monthly commissions, a little over $600. Okay, not life-changing, but it does give you a little bit of what I would call financial freedom. A lot of households would be saved with just an addition of $500 or $600 per month. So this can make a whole difference on paying bills or whatever. If you had a little over $600 landing on your kitchen table every month, you wouldn't turn it down, right? Then let's look at a Pro 5. Those average monthly commissions are a little over $3,000 a month. And that is where we're starting to look at this changing how things might go for you in your life. It might allow you to leave a job or start a new career that you've always wanted to start, or allow your kids or yourself to go back to school. But then let's look at elite. If you want to take a little more effort with this, now we're looking at how you from your home can make a 6-figure income. When I first started this, like I said, we only had a couple of products. We only were in a couple of countries. And yet within 20 months, my husband and I reached the rank of Elite Pro 8. How do you get started? Well, there's 2 basic ways to get started. We have a Premier Pack, $299. It has the Tri-Synergizer in it. It also has the Axio. These are some of our most popular products. And it really starts giving you an idea of how this can help you in your life and help you start thinking of the people you want to share it with. It also includes our starter kit, which is the $50 value. What I would really recommend if you're serious about this, or even if you're just dipping your toe in, go ahead and get the Elite Pack. This has every product, multiples of every product in our line. And it just, for less than $1,000, you're investing in yourself. You're totally ready to jumpstart your business. And the other thing too is, as you're building your business and people say to you, hey, how did you get started? You'll be able to say, I started with the Elite Pack. Historically in our company, the people who start with the Elite Pack are by far the most likely to succeed. Over 55% of the people that start with an Elite Pack go on to become very successful in the company. So why wouldn't you just go ahead and get the maximum savings on these products? You know you want them, and set yourself up for business. Now you might be thinking, can you do this? Well, again, I'm going to tell you, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And actually, if the distributors who are successful in this business can do it, anybody can do it. Most of the successful distributors in our company have no network marketing background, but they do have the background of caring for people and sharing information with people. And I want you to think about this. When's the last time you told somebody about a product you loved, about a restaurant you loved, about a movie you saw? We do it all the time. And that's what network marketing is. It's just not selling, it's sharing with people solutions for their life. We have all kinds of support, wonderful systems that are very simple, regular meetings, in person, online, and the incentives and perks are almost continuous, where you're getting bonuses and prizes and travel just for doing what you would be doing anyway, and that is building your business. Our company, like I said, it's in Utah, and the news, I mean, look, it's always in the news. Best places to work, expanding. Right now we're in, nearly 30 countries with an actual footprint, but there's actually a global reach program that allows us to sell into 220 different countries. Aaron Brockovich, we've won Stevie Awards. We're not only in the NASDAQ, we're in the Russell 3000 Index. Again, just quarter over quarter, we have growing revenues, and this company is just on the way up. And the only thing really, what I would say, the only thing that's missing is you. We also know that it's not just about the money. We have a lot of different global missions that we work with. These pictures are our most recent one, where we're building homes in Mexico for a community there. But we know that it's not about what you make. It's not about making a living. It's about making a life, and it's about leaving a legacy. And we do that through our company and through our individual distributors. So where do you go from here? Well, either one, you need more information. That's fair. I've given you a lot of information. My friend Stu calls me a fire hose. So you might want to take your notes and review them, talk to the person who invited you, look up pubmed.gov, look up NASDAQ. Or number two, you might say, hey, I don't really need to review the research. Hey, if PubMed is putting all this independent research out there, why would I need to duplicate the research in my kitchen? If Harvard thinks this is a great product, don't I? Just become a customer. You have nothing to lose except oxidative stress, bad mitochondria, and not functioning sirtuins. Or you might say, well, if I'm going to use these products, I know I'm going to like them, and I might as well start making money with it. And that's where you join the team. But